And then I made Romantic Homicide, and it was so different than everything else I had made because it was actually sad. It was slow, it was sad, it was emotional.
Things have taken a dark and twisted turn in the music world. R&B singer David is now at the center of a chilling scandal after a leaked video surfaced, one that many believe captures a shocking murder confession on camera. He's being directly linked to the tragic death of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, whose body was found in the front trunk of his abandoned Tesla. But what makes this even more disturbing is the claim that his entire team allegedly knew what had happened. The confession didn't come in a courtroom. It came in the form of a leaked song. Yes, a track. An unreleased demo titled Celeste began circulating online on September 17, 2025, the exact same day. Celeste Rivas Hernandez's remains were officially identified, but this wasn't a typical music leak. This was a 2-minute and 47-second R&B ballad that many say sounds like a musical confession. With haunting lo-fi production and lyrics that paint a disturbingly vivid picture, fans and investigators alike are calling it nothing short of terrifying. Independent audio analysts have verified that the vocals and style match David's known work from his 2023 sessions. The metadata attached to the file confirms it was recorded in December 2023 at a home studio in Hollywood, 4 months before Celeste was reported missing. Then comes the most horrifying part, the bridge of the song. In this section, David names Celeste directly and sings lyrics that mirror exact details from the crime scene. He sings, "Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest, smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed." And it doesn't end there. He continues, "Missing you so much makes me depressed." But then, right in the middle of the emotion, the track suddenly cuts to an instrumental, like he realized in that moment he'd said too much. What makes this even more haunting is the lyric about the tattoo. Celeste had a shh tattoo on her right index finger, seen in one of her 2023 TikTok videos. Shockingly, David got the exact same tattoo inked in September 2024, months after Celeste had disappeared. Then there's the cigarette line, "Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes." That detail sent chills across the internet because employees at the tow yard where David's Tesla had been impounded later reported a foul, rotting odor coming from the car, long before the body was discovered.
Just last night, the office listed the victim's gender as female, the height of about 5'1" and 71 pounds. This person has wavy black hair, and she apparently has a tattoo on her right index finger that reads, "Shh." Apparently, she had been wearing a tube top, black leggings, had a metal stud earring, and a metal chain bracelet in the shape of a W. According to TMZ, though, to be more specific here, there is no definitive conclusion as to age, gender, or cause of death.
The leak first surfaced on a platform called Xbyte, with a Dropbox source file allegedly shared by a producer who received it back in January 2024. Within hours, the post exploded, crossing over 700 likes, and quickly spread across TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and SoundCloud like wildfire. By September 18th, the track had over 1.5 million streams, with users across the internet dubbing it David's murder ballad. But here's the thing. The song was just the beginning. What followed next was a flood of alleged Discord messages and phone call transcripts, and these are what truly build the picture of a carefully coordinated cover-up operation. Roughly 8 to 10 screenshots from a private Discord server called David's Petals, a fan-run space, began circulating. These messages date back from March to August 2024, and what they show is disturbing. David allegedly discussing the disposal of Celeste's body and bragging about silencing her for good. The most damning of all comes from a message dated April 10th, 2024, just days after Celeste's disappearance. In a private group chat, David allegedly wrote, "Celeste flipped out last night. Had to calm her permanent, wrapped her tight in the frunk. Plastic from Amazon. Park it in Hollywood Hills. Let it sit till towed. No tickets on it yet." Another user reportedly responded, "Body disposal, risky AF." To which David allegedly replied, "Tour alibi covers me. Send $1,000 each for silence. She's gone quiet forever now," like the song. That phrase, "wrapped her tight in the frunk," sent chills across the internet. Why? Because that's exactly how Celeste was found. Dismembered, stuffed into a black duffel bag wrapped in plastic, and hidden in the Tesla's front trunk. Then there's the haunting phrase, "Quiet forever now." Like the song, that's almost a direct reference to David's earlier hit Romantic Homicide, further fueling accusations that he's been weaving this into his music all along, but it doesn't. And there, a leaked call transcript from April 11th, 2024 reveals what appears to be a 28-minute conversation between David and an unidentified associate. In the transcript, David allegedly says, "Yo, Celeste wouldn't stop texting threats. Had to end it quick. Chokehold in the car. Now she's packed. Smells already. Drive the Tesla to Hills tomorrow. Leave keys under mat. Tow yard handles the rest. Body rot's quiet." The chokehold detail is especially alarming because while the cause of death is still under review, insiders say strangulation is a leading theory based on the condition of her remains. Even the part about leaving the Tesla in the Hollywood Hills? That's exactly what happened. The vehicle was eventually towed from that area due to unpaid parking tickets. And David? He allegedly didn't stop there. Another transcript from July 15th, 2024 shows what appears to be a full-blown confession turned into a twisted flex. Lol. She's silenced eternal. Trunk tomb, no traces? Brag to the song but fans too dumb. Paid y'all to forget? Now it's my best plot twist. Trunk tomb? Brag to the song? It's a chilling glimpse into the mindset of someone not just hiding a crime, but allegedly proud of it. Screenshots of Venmo and Cash App payments further paint the picture. David allegedly paid out over $8,000 to various fans and close associates with cryptic notes like, "For the Celeste thing. Stay silent. If cops ask, you never met her. I made it look like she ran away." While David's representatives have denied everything, calling the leaks malicious fabrications meant to destroy his career, the LAPD hasn't ruled anything out. The investigation, still very active.
But authorities are treating this as a death investigation. A spokesperson for the singer, whose real name, by the way, is David Anthony Burke, said in a statement to NBC News that he, quote, has been informed about what's happened, and although he is still out on tour, he is fully cooperating with the authorities. Now, we're going to talk about potential legal consequences here, but I have to say the singer may already be feeling the economic consequence.
The real problem for David? Too many details from the alleged leaks match the crime scene perfectly. The timing, the location, the method of disposal, and even how the body was wrapped, all of it aligns with what investigators found. It's almost impossible to chalk this up to coincidence. And what makes it even darker? David allegedly thought he was being smart. He tried to use his tour schedule as a cover, performing in different cities while Celeste's body decomposed in an abandoned Tesla, parked and rotting in the Hollywood Hills. But these leaks suggest something far more sinister. A plan hatched months in advance, carefully choreographed around his tour dates to distance himself from the crime scene. It's the arrogance. That's truly disturbing. Not just the murder itself, but allegedly bragging about it in Discord chats and then immortalizing it in his music. Like he believed his fame made him untouchable. Once the leaks hit the internet, the reaction was immediate, explosive, and unforgiving. Hashtags like #D4v leaks and Justice for Celeste went viral across TikTok and X, generating over 1.2 billion views by September 18th, 2025. Fans, many of whom once saw David as a wholesome, rising R&B talent, felt shocked, betrayed, and sickened. Thousands echoed that sentiment. What's driving most of the public conviction is how chillingly close the lyrics are to reality. Every line from that demo track seems to line up with real-world events, turning his art into evidence. The alleged grooming, paired with the murder and the lyrics, created a perfect storm of outrage. This wasn't just about a crime. To many, this was about manipulation, abuse, murder, and then profiting off it with fame. The fallout from the leaked messages hit hard, but not everyone was convinced. Ori, TikToker went viral, claiming the Discord leaks proved David had been texting Celeste since she was just 12 years old. But while outrage swept across the internet, not everyone was ready to convict David based on screenshots and unverified audio alone. Some fans tried to defend him, though their voices were quickly drowned out by the backlash. Still, the skepticism lingered. Some fans pointed to David's alibi, his tour schedule, and questioned whether the Discord messages, payments, and audio leaks had been fabricated. And that comment helped ignite a full-blown framed theory, a narrative pushed by a small group of loyal supporters who believed David was being targeted, not exposed. At first, the backlash hit David where it hurt. Streams of his song, Romantic Homicide, dropped 40% within days, as fans began a widespread boycott. But then, in a dark twist, the numbers shot back up by over 300%. As people began combing through the lyrics for hidden clues, this disturbing trend has been dubbed the murder bump, where controversy, even one involving alleged grooming and murder, perversely leads to a surge in engagement. The leaked Celeste track became a viral horror show. TikTok creators began syncing the lyrics with real-life news footage of the Tesla discovery. One particularly chilling clip, where David sings about Celeste being wrapped up tight, went mega viral, hitting over 50 million views. The line from the song, "Wrapped her tight," paired with images of the plastic-wrapped body found in the Tesla's frunk, created one of the most haunting viral moments in recent internet history. Meanwhile, David himself has gone completely silent. His last post on X, formerly Twitter, was on September 10th, a generic tour promo. No comment, no statement, no apology. But his PR team, they've been moving fast, issuing carefully worded denials through select media outlets, insisting that all the leaks are malicious fabrications designed to destroy a young artist's life. However, the damage was already done. TMZ reported that a tipster connected to Celeste's mother had approached media with new information, and sources say that what's coming next could blow the case wide open.
We got in touch with Celeste's mother, and the mother told us, because what the police had come out with was that the girl had a tattoo on her right index finger that said S.
Even before they could find out her name, they obviously had the body parts and they released some information.
And it was on her index finger. It said SHHH with 3 dots or 4 dots, and that's all we knew. The mother told us that my daughter had a tattoo on her right index finger that said the same thing, and that the tattoo, she told us, in fact, Anakin, she only spoke Spanish, so Anakin spoke to her.
NBC News was one of the few outlets to get a slightly more detailed response from David's team. In the official statement, his rep wrote, "David is devastated by the tragedy. These rumors are nothing more than coincidental art twisted into lies. We are praying for Celeste's family." But that phrase, coincidental art, landed poorly with the public. Given the chillingly specific details in the leaked lyrics and Discord messages, many felt it was a tone-deaf attempt to deflect blame, and perhaps the most telling reaction hasn't been David's words, but his silence. On September 17th and 18th, David abruptly canceled his Seattle shows and postponed his San Francisco tour dates, citing personal matters. For someone who built his entire brand on being vulnerable and emotionally available to fans, the sudden radio silence only added fuel to the fire. His socials have gone dark, and that silence, in the eyes of many, speaks volumes. As the investigation drags on, the internet has broken into 3 camps, each with their own theory about what really happened. The first and most widely accepted theory is that David is guilty of premeditated murder. According to sentiment analysis by data pulled from X, this theory dominates roughly 70% of the conversation. Supporters of this view point to the overwhelming amount of circumstantial evidence, from the leaked track's lyrics to matching tattoos, the metadata placing David in Los Angeles around the time of Celeste's disappearance, and of course, the disturbing messages allegedly sent by David in private fan servers. The second theory, holding about 20% of the discourse, suggests David was framed, either by rivals in the industry or obsessive fans with malicious intent. Believers of this theory argue that the leaks are suspiciously clean, lack credible watermarks, and may have been digitally manipulated. They claim the audio could have been generated using deepfake voice technology, and the "sh" tattoo was a common design, not necessarily unique to Celeste or meaningful in context. They also point out that David was on tour when the body was discovered, suggesting he may have been strategically targeted at his most vulnerable moment. The third and least popular theory suggests an accidental killing. It accounts for about 10% of online speculation and paints the picture of a volatile relationship that spiraled out of control. This version doesn't absolve David. It acknowledges the grooming allegations and emotional manipulation, but it theorizes that Celeste's death may have been the result of a heated argument, a fatal mistake followed by a panicked and poorly thought-out cover-up. Reddit users pushing this theory cite the now infamous Discord message where David allegedly says, "Celeste flipped out last night. Had to calm her permanent." That line has been interpreted as the moment things escalated beyond his control. As these theories circulate, comparisons to past celebrity scandals are now unavoidable. Social media is flooded with posts likening David's downfall to that of R. Kelly, another artist accused of using fame and access to prey on underage fans. The pattern is painfully familiar. A young artist showing early signs of troubling behavior, overlooked or excused by an industry too focused on profit to intervene. Many feel this case has once again exposed the dark side of fame, how power, image, and influence can shield even the most horrific crimes. Until it's too late. The leaked evidence has triggered a social media feeding frenzy, and there's no sign of it slowing down. Whether the messages, songs, and voice recordings are completely authentic or expertly fabricated, one thing is clear. David's reputation and career have already been decimated in the court of public opinion. The question now is whether law enforcement will find enough concrete, verifiable evidence to match the viral accusations that have already tried and convicted him online. It's a brutal fall from grace. And it all started with what seemed like a fairy tale rise. David Anthony Burke, known professionally as just David, was living the American dream. But September 2025 turned that dream into a nightmare. Born on March 28, 2005 in Queens, New York, and raised in Houston, Texas, David was a 20-year-old indie R&B star who built a music empire straight out of his sister's closet. His rags-to-riches story, from bedroom producer to Billboard chart topper, symbolized everything fans loved about the digital age of music discovery. But the allegations involving Celeste Rivas exposed the darker side of that fame and how access, power, and adoration can become dangerous when no one's watching. David's music journey began in 2019 inside that same Houston closet, where he recorded lo-fi tracks while trying to avoid copyright strikes on his Fortnite YouTube montages. He was self-taught, learning production through FL Studio, and started uploading original music to SoundCloud in November 2021. His genre-bending blend of rap, indie, and R&B felt raw and real. Something Gen Z craved in a world full of label-manufactured stars. His breakout moment came in July 2022 with the viral hit Romantic Homicide. The track exploded on TikTok, transforming him overnight from a niche SoundCloud kid to a mainstream phenomenon. The song peaked at number 33 on the Billboard Hot 100 and eventually crossed 1 billion streams on Spotify, with lyrics like, "I don't love you, but I still act like I do. Your heart was just too big for me. I didn't mean to make you cry. I just wanted to see you bleed." At the time, fans chalked those words up to raw teenage angst. But now, they're being dissected and reinterpreted, not as art, but as possible confession. By 2024, David was everywhere. He contributed the moody ballad "Feel It" to Amazon's Invincible soundtrack. He graced stages like Coachella and announced major collaborations with other alt R&B stars. In April 2025, his debut album Withered dropped and debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. He was living every young artist's fantasy, sold-out world tours, label deals, magazine covers, and millions of loyal followers. But behind the curated highlight reel, a much darker story was allegedly unfolding. The disturbing connection between David and Celeste Rivas Hernandez began in the very same digital spaces where modern predators often find their prey. Celeste was a 15-year-old aspiring TikTok influencer from Lake Elsinore, California, 5'2", with wavy black hair and a feed full of dance clips, lip syncs, and voiceovers. According to leaked screenshots, she first connected with David in 2022 when she was just 12, and he was 17. Their communication allegedly began in TikTok DMs, then moved to David's fan-run Discord server, ominously titled David's Petals. Screenshots show usernames like CelesteX13 and David Homicide exchanging messages in late 2022. According to these leaks, David initiated contact after Celeste posted a TikTok cover of Romantic Homicide. From there, the progression of their alleged relationship reads like a textbook grooming case. Flattery, emotional bonding, secrecy, and promises of fame and access. Conversations reportedly show David encouraging her to keep things private, while offering to help with her influencer career. even suggesting they meet in person without her parents knowing. One of the most disturbing pieces of leaked evidence is a message dated February 2023, where David allegedly wrote to Celeste, "Hey cutie, saw your TikTok? You got that vibe I write about. What's your age?" When Celeste responded, 12 LOL, David allegedly replied, "Age is just a number in art. Let's collab. Keep it secret." That message, if real, is more than just creepy, it's incriminating. It lays the groundwork for what many now believe was a clear and deliberate grooming strategy. By June 2023, just months later, David allegedly offered to fly her to Los Angeles once she turned. 13 leaked screenshots in Venmo records show he sent small payments to her friends, labeled art inspo, which many now interpret as hush money, meant to keep the relationship hidden. As 2023 turned into 2024, the alleged relationship escalated. Celeste had just turned 14 and David was 19. Members of David's Discord server began speculating they were more than friends. In one leaked message from March 2024, David allegedly stated, "She's my muse." Kept it low-key cause age vibes. Shh, our secret, the secrecy. The code words, the digital trail, all of it points to a disturbing level of control and manipulation. Then came the tattoos. Both Celeste and David had tattoos. Celeste's ink was visible on her right index finger in a 2023 TikTok. But David, he reportedly got the exact same tattoo in September 2024, after Celeste had already disappeared. Whether it was meant as a twisted tribute or as some kind of trophy, the symbolism is chilling. The timing is undeniable. And to many, it feels like a silent confession etched in ink. Celeste's mother, Maria Hernandez, spoke to TMZ, confirming that her daughter had mentioned a boyfriend named David earlier in 2024. According to Maria, Celeste was excited, communicating with someone on Snapchat, talking about possibly visiting LA. But the family never approved of these trips. They thought she was too young. They thought it was just internet talk. Now, that memory is heartbreaking because Celeste never came home. Her disappearance didn't just devastate her family, it destroyed the illusion that David was simply a misunderstood artist. For many, it confirmed their worst fears, that behind the poetic lyrics and moody melodies was a predator using his platform to isolate, manipulate, and ultimately destroy a young girl's life.
And she said that she had a boyfriend.
That's right, that she had a boyfriend and his name was David. And the mother never really got in contact with David, like she never saw him.
She didn't know who the David was.
She had heard of him. And it seemed like the last time that she had seen her daughter was when she had gone out with.
The end came on April 5th, 2024. Celeste Rivas was last seen getting ready to see a movie with her brother, Matthew, in Lake Elsinore, California. But she never arrived. At 7:42 p.m., she sent a Snapchat mentioning she was heading to LA for a cool opportunity. Then, her phone went dark. Friends say she had been buzzing with excitement about connecting with a famous singer online, someone she believed could change her life. Discord logs, now part of the growing evidence, allegedly show David arranging a meetup with her that very week. What happened next, according to the leaked messages and audio recordings, was a fatal argument that spiraled out of control, and then silence. For 5 long months, Celeste's family searched for answers, until the nightmare returned in the most gruesome way. On September 8, 2025, employees at Hollywood Tow and Auto Storage reported a foul, rotting odor coming from a black Tesla Model 3. The vehicle had been impounded after sitting abandoned in the Hollywood Hills for more than a month. When workers opened the front trunk, they found a black duffel bag. Inside was Celeste's dismembered, severely decomposed body, wrapped tightly in plastic. The remains wore a black tube top, black leggings, a yellow bracelet, and stud earrings, the same outfit she was last seen wearing in April 2024. The dismemberment suggested someone had tried to make the body fit into the limited space, revealing a level of premeditation and cruelty that left even veteran investigators shaken. On September 17th, the LA County Medical Examiner officially classified her death as a homicide, though the exact cause was deferred pending toxicology results due to the advanced state of decomposition. The estimated time of death aligns with the night she vanished, painting a horrifying timeline. 5 months of a body decaying in silence, inside a car no one thought to check. The discovery rocked the entertainment world. David's career was obliterated overnight. His music streams surged by 300% as morbid curiosity spread, but that momentum collapsed into widespread boycotts. Major brands cut ties, labels backed away, and venues began canceling stops on his withered world tour, unwilling to be associated with the controversy. Still, David's team maintains his innocence, claiming he's fully cooperating with authorities and dismissing the allegations as coincidental art twisted into lies. But the court of public opinion has already spoken, and the leaked evidence, real or not, continues to circulate like a digital scarlet letter. As of September 18, 2025, David has not been formally charged, but he remains a person of interest in an active homicide investigation. The LAPD is now analyzing DNA evidence, cell phone records, and Tesla GPS data to confirm the timeline and physical evidence. While the world watches and waits, one thing is clear: whether these confessions were authentic or expertly faked, they have already ended one career and started a critical conversation about how easily fame, influence, and access can be weaponized against vulnerable young fans. Justice for Celeste Rivas may still be on the horizon, but her story and the darkness behind the fame will not be forgotten. That's all for now.